Hi everybody, and welcome back to Edmonton Aviation. And today I have a Sacramento Airport update for you all. So let's get started with this United 737 MAX 9 on the runway for a flight to Houston George Bush. Right here is a Southwest 737 MAX 8 taxiing out for Las Vegas. Here's a Alaska 737-800 in the Star Wars livery, which is heading out to San Jose del Cabo. Behind him is a Alaska 737-700, which will be taxiing out for Boise. Here's a Delta Airbus A319 taxiing out for Detroit, a United CRJ 200 which just arrived in from San Francisco, a Delta ERJ 175 which just arrived in from Las Vegas. Here's a Alaska 737 MAX 9 in a Seattle Kraken livery which will be heading out to Seattle. American Airbus A320 which will be heading out to Charlotte. Here's a Delta Airbus A220-300 which will be heading out to Minneapolis, St. Paul. A United 737 MAX 8 in the Being Together livery which will be heading out to Denver. Here's a Southwest 737-800 in the California 1 livery which will be heading out to Eugene. Here's one of my new favorite models, the Alaska 737-800 in the Salmon 30 Salmon livery which will be heading out to Anchorage. Here's a Delta 757-200 which just arrived in from Atlanta and will be heading back out to the same airport. And here's a United Airbus A319 which will be heading out to Washington Dulles. Over there is a Alaska Embraer ERJ 175 which will be heading out to Portland. Over here is a Delta CRJ 700 which will be heading out to Salt Lake City. Right here is a FedEx 767-300F which will be heading out to Memphis. Over there is a American CRJ 700 which will be heading out for Los Angeles. Here's an Air Canada CRJ 900 heading out to Vancouver. Over here taxiing out for Chicago O'Hare is this American Airbus A319. Right here taxiing out for Los Angeles is this Delta 717. Pulling off the runway after a flight in from Las Vegas is this Spirit Airbus A319. Here's a United 737-200 with winglets, which is taxiing in after a flight from Chicago O'Hare. Here's a Southwest 737-700 in the Old Canyon Blue livery, which is heading out for Orlando. A Hawaiian Airbus A321neo heading out to Honolulu. Southwest 737 MAX 8 in the EMUA 1 livery, which is heading out for Kansas City. And that's it for this airport update, and I'll see you guys next time.